Hello. Howdy, everybody. I hope you're having a marvelous Monday today. We are back. It's Magic Monday, episode 11. Welcome back. As per usual, let's give it a couple minutes. We want to let a few people filter in here. And then we will begin with Magic News, as we always do. There's a few cool changes coming really soon to MTG. Okay, well, while we're waiting here, we can discuss a little bit about upcoming exciting things coming. So as many of you know, we will have Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth coming very soon. So that's going to be at the end of June there. Now, if you are interested in this set, I will tell you now that pre-orders are coming very soon to Zephyr Epic. So if you want to get your hands on your chance to get the one ring, that one of one card that already has a bounty for $100,000 plus, the time is coming soon. So if you're not already, make sure you sign up for our email newsletter, subscribe to our Instagram, or subscribe to our email newsletter and follow our Instagram, I should say. So that way you can make sure that you are up to date on when those products drop. There's going to be a lot of hype surrounding these. So you're going to want to get them quickly because we only going to have so many for pre-order, and then we're going to have more on release day. Okay, as I said at the start of the stream here, this is Magic Monday number 11, and I'm so happy to have you joining me here today. Before we begin, if you're a Canadian resident who's a fan of all things trading cards, be sure to follow the link in the description below to check out ZephyrEpic.com for incredible deals on trading cards, box breaks, and beyond. If you need accessories are coming to Zephyr Epic. That's right, we recently got word that there was going to be a bunch of new products dropping soon for Ultra Pro, and they will be hitting our website very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That is going to be exciting to be able to restock on those needed items because it has been tough to get them for the last little while. As I was saying as well, Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth pre-orders. Those are going to be opening up very, very, very soon for Zephyr Epic. Hint, hint, possibly this week. So keep your eyes peeled. If you want to get your hands on those products and guarantee yourself a box and step into the world of Lord of the Rings meeting MTG, well, that's going to be your chance. You are going to want to make sure that you keep an eye peeled for that email newsletter coming out. Okay, buckle up, everybody. That's right, change has come. You could feel it in the winds in the previous weeks, and it looks like there's going to be some cool stuff coming down the pipeline for Standard. That's right, starting tomorrow, we are going to have a big shakeup in the Standard meta. Reckoner Bankbuster, Fable the Mirror Breaker, and the ever-annoying Invoke Despair get banned from Standard, as I suspected. These cards were due to get the hammer, and they have now gotten the hammer, and the time is upon us. Now, unfortunately, that won't stop people from getting their last few days of Rakdos out. So possibly today we're going to be facing off against that quite a bit. But it does open up the door to new decks and brews and kind of reinvigorates the entire meta, which is super exciting. Now, I know that there's cards like Breach the Multiverse that might be able to replace Invoke Despair in some circumstances, but it is a steeper mana cost and it does still slow things down. Yes, Shieldred is still around. That's going to be ever annoying. And I think it's entirely possible that people start going back to that more Rakdos Sacrifice, Raksack, as I like to call it, type brews using Oni Cult Anvil and blood tokens and that kind of stuff. And that might replace what's going on with the Rakdos deck. But you know what? It's easier to compete with those decks than it is the current meta. And the Rakdos' ability to just splash additional colors to get broken cards. It's just unfair. So very, very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. And hey, maybe it's our time to shine. We are Monastery Mentor fans here, and maybe it's our time to really formulate that perfect deck in the Standard meta now. So Now, we may not find out today, but next week we'll be able to get a full experimentation on the deck in the new standard environment. And yeah, that's going to be super exciting for all of us. Moving on, today we are returning to our Azorius Mentor control. Now, I know it might be a little bit repetitive, but hey, we got to grind out the meta, we got to test out what's out there, and we got to give it a whirl, right? Not to mention all that, the deck is super fun. It's really enjoyable to play. I absolutely love Azorius. I love control decks. And yeah, call me evil, whatever you want to do, but it's fun. And I think it's pretty fair these days, considering the broken stuff that's going on. I do think that Mono Red will return to the podium as sort of the main deck that people are going to be playing for the next little while as experimentation continues. Not forgetting, too, that we now have battles. So there's that Invasion of Rogatha or whatever it's called that does 4 damage and 1 damage to a creature. So, you know, that's going to be worked into those mono red decks, too. And they might have a chance to shine. We're going to find out. But hey, our Azorius deck has board wipes. We have the counter magic, and we can make quite a bit of creatures too. So we're able to hold up our own pretty well. I was testing it a little bit last night, and you know, there was a couple games where I was like down to 3 life and was able to gain some life back and stabilize our board, and then have the opponent just quit because they're out of cards in hand. There's not much they can do. Anyway, so without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump into the arena here. So this is our deck. This is the one we're going to be playing today. Some tweaks have occurred to it since the last time we played. So, notable changes. I took out some ossifications. Now, the reason being is we actually added a copy of White Sun's Twilight. So it occurred to me that we do have quite a few ways of dealing with creatures once they're actually on the board. Oh, sorry. There was a sound outside. I wasn't sure what it was, but it sounded like it was a train or something. Anyway, so Ossification, good at dealing with creatures on the board. It also deals with Planeswalkers, which is fantastic, but so does Fateful Absence. So I think I'm okay with that. Essence Scatter, obviously dealing with creatures. Make Disappear, really good for dealing with creatures and other cards. We have a single copy of Negate, which might seem low, but I think it's worth running 1 copy of it. We do have 3 copies of Spell Pierce, but having 1 copy of a very powerful counterspell is going to be efficient for us, I think. And hey, if it doesn't work out, we can just bump it out of there, or we can take out some of these creature-heavy ones. We'll figure out what happens. We do have a 4th copy of Invasion of New Phyrexia in here now. This has proven to be just, like, obscenely powerful card, especially against those mono red decks that I was mentioning. It's difficult sometimes for these decks to face off against those really fast, aggressive decks because they build out such a wide board so quickly, and they have ways of kind of juicing them up or doing damage to you to juice them up. And cards like this, Invasion of New Phyrexia, do really help with that because, hey, getting 4 buddies onto the battlefield just to defend yourself a little bit, and then later board wiping, it's like, who cares? I'd rather lose the guys and just know that I was able to defend myself for a few turns. And that's where White Sun's Twilight really shines. One of the little hidden flavor, or one of the hidden pieces in this card is they actually gain life. That matters. That matters a lot. It's actually swayed the game a few times for me, and it proves to be pretty helpful. And you get to create a bunch of mites that have poison, and so that helps too, and it can be a pseudo board wipe. It's good. Monastery Mentor. Now, I'm going to admit, Monastery Mentor, it's good, not great. We're kind of forced to play this on turn 4 because we want to hold up the counter magic. We want to do our thing that way. But still, if you're able to get this down in a safe space on the board, it ends up being quite valuable for us, especially if you start using counter magic after it's played. You start doubling down on creatures. And yeah, you can build a pretty wide board. Obviously, we're going to continue running Wandering Emperor, probably, if not the best Planeswalker in Standard. And then we're still running our 3 copies of Meeting the Minds. We did add an additional copy of Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. I believe we did that last week. This card has been phenomenal for me. I've been very, very, very impressed with it, especially with the fact that you can flip this card, and when you do, you can draw 2 cards, triggering this to grow bigger, and its tokens to grow bigger. It kind of creates this cool engine of kind of recycling spirits and getting more cards and kind of getting rid of the cards you don't need to fill it up. And yeah, it's quite good. And then we have a single copy of Farewell. This is the only card I've been very on the fence about running, and I do debate taking it out just for another copy of Negate, but I do like having that kind of do all board wipe against those decks that maybe make a lot of tokens or run a bunch of enchantments, any of those kind of things. Obviously, those enchantment decks are still sticking around and they're still quite powerful. So if we have ways of removing that stuff, it's going to be very helpful for us. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the game. I guess we could go over the lands really quickly. The only thing that's really exciting about our land base here is that we have the couple copies of Mishra's Foundry, but we've seen that before. We already knew that was in the deck. I did end up having to strip our sideboard quite a lot because we had 4 copies of Reckoner Bankbuster in here. Plus a few other cards that didn't end up being that good. Eternal Wanderer is a pretty good sideboard option for us, and frankly, it's a pretty good replacement for Farewell. Putting it at our top end and being able to create our Samurai tokens with Double Strike, it's pretty valuable. It does stuff. Yeah, so something to consider too if we want to later on in the stream here. Maybe we can do that little switch up. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 here with Standard. You can see here I was testing with red deck wins. Okay, so we're in Standard rank. Let's jump into our very first game. Vagrant Dart. Simic Gandalf looks pretty weak sauce. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, those decks remain to be seen, I think. So we'll see what happens. The funny thing about them is, you know what? They're going to be hot no matter what. People are going to go excited, be so excited about them. It's Lord of the Rings. Everyone loves Lord of the Rings. Okay, so this is not a bad start for us. We do have Consider in our opening hand, which is always handy dandy, as well as Make Disappear to follow it up for the consecutive turns, and hopefully we get some more lands, some stuff that we can start to, you know, building our board a little bit, but if we have to go slow, we have to go slow. Okay, getting hit with that Akiba Reckoner Raid, one of my favorite cards in Standard right now, an absolute banger in Sealed. Okay, so let's start off with our Seachrome Coast so that we can make sure that we have ability to use the blue and the white right away. And then we'll take another damage from the Reckoner Raid. Let's see what they do next. Okay, so they're playing that Bankbuster. We knew that this was still going to be in the meta for at least one more day, right? Let's go ahead and Consider. And you know what? We did just draw a land. There's something to be said that maybe we want to keep this, but frankly, I want to just pitch it to the side and then hope for something better. And we get the plains anyway, so that's okay. All right, so in this circumstance, I'm just going to slam and add a card away so we have access to more duels, and then we're going to pass the turn. So, important to note, they will get, I think it's a 2/2 Menace here. And another Reckoner. Okay, so they're going to hold up their mana now to be able to use this Bankbuster. That's expected. We keep hitting the plains. That is also okay. So let's do this. We're going to pass the turn. So we saved that Make Disappear, and I know we could have done it to the Akiba Reckoner Raid, but I'm holding on to it for now. And I'll go ahead and end my turn. Sure. Now, could this be land Shieldred? Okay, so Dreams of Steel and Oil. Do I know this card? Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose an artifact or creature card from among it. Artifact or creature card from it. Then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. Okay, so I don't have an artifact or a creature card, so this is just wasted mana, right? Do I care that they see my hand? Not really. Go ahead. It's a whiff. So logically, I would think that they want to do something else. Nope, they're just going to go ahead and crack a counter off this thing. Pass the turn to us. We'll do this. Now, we could debate just putting 2 creatures on board right now. Do we want to hold up Wandering Emperor and Make Disappear instead, though? Or Wandering Emperor or / Make Disappear / Meeting of the Minds? I think we probably want to do that. This does have Menace. We are at 14 life. Let's pass the turn again. Yes, sir. Okay, let's see what the opponent has for us. Sure, they're gonna crew this. I don't really care about that. I can just kill it pretty easily. So they're gonna move to attacks. I'm gonna slam this down. So what do they have up their sleeve right now? Let's do this. We'll destroy this tapped creature. That wasn't the best play for our opponent. But it's possible. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so they wanted to get Shieldred down. That's okay. So let's draw a card. There's another Seachrome Coast. Doesn't do much for us. That's fine. Okay, we're going to play our island here. Now... Okay, so we kind of have a couple options. We can make 3 buddies, which I think is probably the correct play. Making a bunch of knights is probably valuable for us. Alternatively, we could play Teferi Temporal Pilgrim and kind of shift the clock that way. But I think we're better off doing this. We'll do it for 3. So using all of our mana. And then we're going to go ahead and put a counter on this thing. This makes for pretty good blockers for us.
Remember your training.
So I think looking back on the plays, it would have been good for us to use the counter spell earlier for one of their Okiba Reckoner raids here. So they're going to invoke Despair, we have to sacrifice a creature, and then we have to repeat the process for a Planeswalker enchantment. Okay, so there's that. I cannot wait for that card to disappear. Wow. What an evil card. Sure, I'm going to go ahead and double block this Shieldred. I don't want to have to deal with that later. And I will be taking 4 damage. What tricks could you possibly have? Okay, a little too late for that. Now... I think what we want to be doing here is... Let's just hold up our counter magic now. Let our opponents start their turn. If we take 4 damage, we take 4 damage. They might have another Invoke Despair, in which case we're probably just dead. Let's move to attacks. Sure, we're gonna take the attacks. The important thing here is like next turn we can use this Farewell. Let's see what they have in their hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and yeah, we'll make disappear that. If they want to pay the additional mana, that's fine. Okay, they do want to get it out that badly. They won't be able to activate it this turn. That's fine. Okie doke. So let's go ahead and Farewell and basically just hope that they don't have anything beyond this. What's that? Farewell hitting enchantments? Yeah, Farewell hits everything except Planeswalkers. So all creatures, all artifacts, all enchantments, and all graveyards. Great card. Just fantastic. Now we're basically winging a prayer here. What was that? Equal to number swamps you control? What an obscure card to play. Okay, but hey, it worked, right? Nah, Invoke, yeah. Invoke is just an evil card. It needed to get banned. I think their logic was, oh, it's got 4 black pips. It's going to be impossible to cast, but that's never the case, is it? Like, people always find a way. So we want to get more counter spells in our hand to start things off. And it's possible we want less threats in the deck and more counter magic. I mean, I asked for counter spells, and of course I get 2 planes, right? Alright. I mean, hey, that's counter magic. Let's, I think we're probably pitching the white card here, honestly. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, I mean, just Triomes in general really, like, shifted the meta in so many ways. Okay, so we're facing off against mono red. What's the name of this card again? Fruitcake. Can't remember. Giant? Something like that. Okay, well, we have a way of countering their creature spell that they're hoping to get a counter on now. Ooh, okay. Do we want to counter that? Do we think they have a follow-up? Let's counter it. This thing ends up being an effective creature later on anyway. Okay, there's the rabbit battery. It enters with 2 counters on it. So be it. Okay, there's white mana. And we still do nothing. Okay, we'll get hit by that. Now, do you have another creature? It's another play with fire. Okay, so they're just trying to burn us out, but they're using all their resources to do it. Running out of cards in hand pretty quickly. Down to 9. Okie doke. Let's play this and just pass the turn. We can meeting of minds after. Okay, there's a play with fire again. So they really are burning out everything in their hand. Do they have some kind of creature at all? We're gonna take 4 here. They might have a lightning strike just to finish us off. And I mean, that's how aggro goes. That's okay. Okay, let's draw some cards. Okay, there's a mentor. That's at least a blocker for us. And we do hold up our Essence Scatter, which is nifty. But any kind of like... They have like double down on any kind of burn spells. We're not in a great spot here. Okay, I'm gonna block this rabbit battery. And they have the 1 damage? They don't. Okay. So now... Farewell's not going to gain us life, but we can exile that and then gain 2 life back. I think we want to do that right away. Let's do that. 1 lightning strike and we're done. Okay, well they keep drawing lands. Is that a land in hand then? It's a strangle. Okay. There's our planeswalker out. Now, Spell Pierce is handy, but they can't really do anything else. Let's just pass the turn again. Okay, we can Essence Scatter that. It's gonna be a grueling game. Okay, so we're slamming to Fairy here. We'll make a friend. Hello, friend.
I've always got time to... Who's that handsome devil?
Seeing if the opponent is drawing lightning strikes. They're going for the top deck W. And, oh, it's a play with fire. Okay, well... Force in their hand does not do much for us here, because they have nothing else. Yeah. We're not in a great spot. I think what we really want to see... Okay, let's get Buddy on the battlefield here and see if we can start stabilizing a little bit. There's an Essence Scatter, which might prove to be handy for us. Let's get in for damage. It's got Vigilance, so... There it is. Okay, so we lose this one, but... So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. Is like a good way to combat these decks is obviously to build around the idea of gaining life. We don't really have too many like board wipes that gain us life or anything right now. I wonder what we could put in here as kind of like a top deck superhero for us. Let's take a look here. Now, Farewell was obviously really good in all those matchups. Meeting the Minds was actually pretty good as well. It seems like we're facing a lot of creature-heavy decks. Do you think the bans are enough? I saw pretty... Oh, I think it'll shake things up enough, and I don't think that they're going to be afraid to continue banning, quite frankly. I'm curious if we can get some kind of cool top-end lifelink. I mean, this is a pretty good one. But I'd rather get something. Oh, it's Ward 2. That's pretty good for us. Hmm. Flying first strike lifelink with backup 1. Gain life. Let's just look up that, because maybe there's a removal spell we can have. I don't... Okay, so saying that other decks are free to run rampant. No. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, like, I think it's a good thing that decks run rampant. And yeah, it might mean that it shakes things up in a way that ends up causing another ban, but I don't think they're going to be afraid to just do that if they have to. It makes sense for them to do it, honestly. Like, they can just keep doing that, keep, like, doing these events, realizing that it's not working, and then going to, yeah, like, going on to just banning more stuff. So be it, right? What's some kind of cool way of gaining life here? Taplons ain't great. What else do we have in standard right now that would be good for us to gain life off of? Like, because we don't really need a way of protecting our creatures. Now, stuff like this is pretty good, but it doesn't have... It's not an instant, and I really want to be playing instant cards. Maybe this is a good addition for us. I don't mind having that in the 4 slot. Let's toss a couple copies of this in here and just take a look at it after. Gain that which plus 1. Gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. That's not terrible for us too. It is an instant too. What does this Teferi do again? Choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanent you control. This is probably pretty gas for us, actually. This might be just the best of all the worlds we're looking for. And hey, I come from the world where I love Teferi, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this. I think Archangel Elspeth. Creating a token. Does make our things really big. But I don't have a whole lot of permanents with mana value 3 or less. So let's just take that out. I like having this Teferi, though. It seems like it's probably going to be pretty utility for us. Look at the top 3 cards. We put one of them in your hand, the rest of them on your library. I mean, this is kind of what you need in a control deck. But then let's take a look here. So yeah, let's add our couple copies of the man here. Yeah, that's a personal opinion. No bias. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now, do we want to try taking out Mentor? I know that it's literally the namesake of the deck. I don't think we want to. I don't think we're quite there yet. No. No, we don't want to do that. Let's take Ossification, put it in our sideboard. Let's take a copy of this out. We don't need this many copies, and this was kind of a stale card in our hand because we don't have that many creatures. Maybe it is just taking out Meeting of the Minds. Let's just put these in the sideboard. Let's try this out. So we're putting those on the side. And then Wandering Emperor at our top end is not a bad thing. And let's reduce this by 1, 2. Let's craft all this and take it for a spin. Let's go for a walk. Taking out gas. Which card are you referring to? Ossification? Or are you talking about Meeting of Minds? Now, I know Meeting of Minds is like a good card, but we are adding 2 draw spells, right? And we also are adding this as a draw spell too. And if we're going to have a 4 mana card that draws us cards, but we don't even get to convoke it that often, I don't know how helpful that's going to be for us. And this has flashback too. So we can basically recycle these ones a couple times. Yeah, that's true. That's like a good way of putting it, but it is going to be helpful for our control deck. This is what we want to be doing. We do have the 4 copies to consider. This is going to be getting us stuff in our hands. This lets us draw cards too. I think this is what we want to be doing. Yeah, I like this. I don't like that that's my, like, optional 4-drop sometimes. But hey, I might be wrong, right? It's worth testing. Let's try it. I get what you're saying, though, yeah. If you get to the top deck, then yeah. Okay. Well, we can make this work. Slam this down, pass the turn. See what our opponent's up to. Okie doke, mono red, as we expected. Like I said, this mono red is going to be in the limelight for the next little while. And yeah, until we start seeing new decks come out of the meta. Yeah, we need our planes. And watch us draw another one. There it is. Okie doke. Let's put this down and pass the turn. And we have ways of dealing with threats now. Okay, Swift Spear is a threat. Let's get rid of it. And land, card, Phoenix Chick attack, maybe another Phoenix Chick, something like that. They'll hold up a burn spell, or they'll just use it now to scry. Yeah. Using Play with Fire to scry. And deal damage, of course. Makes sense, makes sense. Okay, so we want to get our other planes down. And yeah, same. Let's just pass the turn now. Yeah. Got a couple copies of Wandering Emperor. Those are going to be pretty nifty for us. What do you got there, Palomino? Mono faces Kakazan. Okay, that's normal for mono red. Sure. And have you a creature that I want to deal with? No. Okay. So now, do we make the argument that we just Fateful Absence their Phoenix Chick right now? Or is it better for us to just wait, let the 1 damage go through, see what they have to back it up? I think it's probably better to just take the 1 damage at this point. Okay. Land. Alrighty. Let us consider. We definitely want that. And let's just be efficient here and just take care of this thing too. Well, we don't want to put this down. We definitely want to be able to slam our Wandering Emperor. But I wonder if it's better for us to just establish 2 big blockers right now and have someone to start attacking. Seeing as they're kind of running out of gas over there, this might be efficient for us to just set up a solid board. We have 4 of these in the deck. We could also just play our Wandering Emperor. You know what? Let's just wait and use the Wandering Emperor. They're probably going to play some kind of hasty creature now. Or try to. They might be out of gas, right? Because they weren't really playing it before. And if that's the case, then all right, we'll play our Wandering Emperor, and yeah, okay. So this is what we're doing now. This is the game plan. Let's make a samurai.
You started this fight.
They're gonna target it with
I'm
something.
going to end
Lightning strike, maybe. All right, Stoke the Flames. Okay, that's fine. We're still making our samurai.
Too much to learn. Let your blade do the talking.
Let's play another Mishra's Foundry. And at this point, I like playing this and getting our 3 creatures on the battlefield. All right. We got that first W. That's what I like to see. Good job, everybody. Scared him off. Didn't get to see the new action of the stuff that we put in there, but that's all right. We're learning. We're learning. This is what we do. Little reminder too, if you live in Canada and are a fan of trading cards, please follow the link in the description below. Check out ZephyrEpic.com. We have incredible deals on cards, box breaks, accessories, and so much more. There's always stuff going on. And yeah, come follow along and hang out with us. And if you live in the Lower Mainland, come visit us at the retail store. We love seeing new faces. It's kind of what we do. We have a fantastic team. I love everyone we work with. They're all just awesome people. And yeah, they're always down to play some games and hang out and talk cards. Okay, do we want another Wandering Emperor? It was pretty good last time, but we don't really know what we're facing off against right now. It's not Esper Legends. What could they be playing? I guess they could be playing the enchantment deck. In which case, having this as removal is probably pretty good, but I think we probably want to try to get counter spells right now, so we're going to pitch this. Another Monastery Mentor, and there's our counter spell. Fantastic. Okay, this is what we want to see. So pretty much whatever they're playing right now, we're going to make disappear. Oh, there's the red mana, so they're doing nothing. Wow, weird. Okay. So, do we Mentor now? I think we still want to hold up our Make Disappear. The difficulty with Azorius Control and a person like me is I love the deck. I'm super impatient. So it doesn't work, you know? Okay. They're, what? Playing... Could they be a 5-color domain deck? I mean, that is a thing. I think... Now, if I play my Mentor, odds are they're going to kill it right away. If I play my Invasion, odds are they're going to kill one of my creatures right away. But if I can Mentor into my Invasion, I'm looking pretty good. Alternatively, we keep up the mana for Wandering Emperor Make Disappear. I don't hate that either. Let's be patient, right? This is what we were just talking about. Being patient in this circumstance is probably key. Fury Stomper. Okay, well, that's what we were kind of hoping for, is something big and scary that we could get rid of. This artwork is just fantastic, by the way. So cool. Plant Dinosaur. So sweet. Not the best card in the world, but pretty cool. Okay, so now let's start getting our tokens created. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Little note that if you are a fan of what we do here at Magic Mondays and with Zephyr Epic, invite your friends. We'd love to see more people join the stream. And I love seeing new people, and I love to get them excited about cards and what we do with Zephyr. Okay, well, we keep getting them. Let's keep playing them. I mean, how many removal spells could they possibly have, right? What do you got there? Another ossification, okay. The great thing about it is they're not going to be hitting our planeswalkers with those, right? And that's the cards that we really want to stick around. Okay, so now we're going to do this and just build a mega board here. Right? Let's do one more. Let's make them roll their eyes in frustration. We have all of our awesome planeswalkers in our hand. Right now, we can play them all. Archangel of Wrath. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals... Was it kicked? Oh, I see. Okay, so it's kicked once, so it deals 2 damage to any target. Sure. And we get a Spell Pierce. So now, options. We can establish quite the board with this, get 3 creatures out. I think that's probably our best play. And then once they move to attack us next turn, during our own turn, we can play Wandering Emperor and get rid of their creature. Let's try it. Okay, they're getting a couple basics. So what is this deck? Do they have black mana? I guess not. Okay, so they're 4 color... something? I guess they must have black mana, right? I guess they don't. Okay, so they're flipping this, and then this is what? A huge creature equal to the number of... It's a land addition. Okay, so it can tap for mana. Okay, let's see our options here. As I was saying, I think we probably want to play our buddy on our own turn. We hold up a Spell Pierce, which is kind of handy for us. Leyline Binding, and they don't have 2 additional mana? No, they don't. Okay. Oh, I guess they could. Well, let's do it anyway. They're going to have to tap this down if they want to do it, which lets us be able to attack our invasion. Okay. Let's exile this. Vigilance Haste. I think I probably want to get rid of this Angel. It doesn't do much else by itself, but... Now, we got Vigilance, so let's get in for 6. Take him down to 19. Alright, they're cooking up something over there, but I don't really know. So they are 5 color, and they are domain. So 5 color domain deck. There's a Traxa, scary. Okay, we can't really deal with the Traxa. Terrifying card. The Grand Unifier. Wow, oof, they got cards now.
Years of training for this?
Are we double blocking this thing? I mean, we can't block Atraxa. don't really even have a way to kill it. This is a tough spot. I don't think we're in a great position here. We're basically hoping to get some kind of board wipe. But even so, we don't really have the mana to uphold it. Let's play Teferi Slows the Sunset.
This is a serious situation. We can still have a little fun.
One target artifact. I don't think there is one, so we're just gonna submit 0. One target creature. We'll tap our opponent's creature. And then one target land. We will untap our Seachrome Coast.
I've got some time tinkering to do.
Yeah. Again, we're not in a great spot. They're going to be able to just get all their stuff out. And I don't know if I even want to see that. Scary place. I mean, the meta is powerful, right? Look at this thing. Scary card. Wow. Well, at least she's not a threat to the multiverse anymore, right, folks? Leyline Binding. What a creepy looking card, too. This person's all creepy. Okay, I guess we're taking 7. For Teferi is, and they're gaining 7 back? Sure. And then now what? They slam a Tali and we're done here?
Worst defeat.
Yeah, okay. I think we've seen enough of that, right? Okay, let's take a gander at our deck. If we're going to be facing off things like that, and this is something I've been debating for a little bit, what we could do is... we can make this even more counterspell heavy if we wanted to. Why is this? Oh, I see. There. The removal is still pretty good for us, but let's take out one of these and possibly let's take these out and let's just load this deck up with counter spells, like as much as we can fit in here. Take out one of those. We can take out one of those, and then we can put back in a copy or two of couple copies of Fateful Absence. Alternatively, we could put Ossification back in the deck. And then take out another copy of Essence Scatter. Maybe run our third copy of this, and you know what? I think this looks pretty cool. It's possible we want to run less Monastery Mentor. See all the Planeswalkers in the current meta. So this is something we talked about earlier. Wandering Emperor is probably pretty good. but it is a top end. Knowing the history of standard, let's look up exile all. Sunfall. And then let's look up destroy all. Where's the Silex too slow? Vanquish the Horde too expensive. Depopulates okay. Don't know that we want to be playing that though. Mind you, there isn't that many. Yeah, there isn't that many multicolored cards in standard right now. So I'm going to take out this White Sun's Twilight. I understand it's a way of gaining life. Now, let's see. Sunfall is going to be good for us. Farewell is going to be good for us. White Sacrifice Sorcery? I'm not sure I know which one you mean. White Sacrifice Sorcery. Like, there's this one, too. Is that the one you're talking about? 13 damage? Or, yeah. Also pretty good. Is it better than Depopulate, though? I don't know. Okay, so 62 cards. Running all these board wipes now. So we have 4 different board wipes. Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. Like, we could try one copy of it. I don't see why not. But now we have to debate what we're taking out. Obviously, the control magic is pretty strong, and this is what we really want to be seeing. We could have less planeswalkers, possibly. Wandering Emperor just doubles as a removal spell for us, but it's not going to be the... Like, Sunfall is probably the best board wipe at this point, because we do get something out of it. And Farewell just hits everything, which is great. It is possible that we want to remove a negate and an essence scatter, but then we're right back to reducing things. I'm like starting to lean towards taking out copies of Monastery Mentor, but it is the namesake. Let's move this over here. Maybe we want to run one less copy of this. What do we think about that? So we have 4 counter spells, or sorry, we have 4 board wipes. I know, like, Teferi slows the sunset. I don't know. Is it good? This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good for us, I think. But Teferi slows the sunset. Like, it might be better to just run more board wipes. Like, having another copy of this is probably going to be handy for us. Exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is number of creatures exiled this way. It does make a huge body for us. Yeah, so I took those out. What do we think here, folks? What do we think? Do we run another Sunfall? Or another Depopulate because it's a lower mana cost? I mean, exiling things is great. Or, alternatively, run another copy of Farewell. I don't mind that. With people playing Ossification and stuff, Farewell ends up being super, super nifty. Well, again, we're here to experiment. We're trying to learn the new meta that's going to be upcoming. It's good to build these kind of decks right now. Take a look at what we can do. Let's test this out. Heliod. Okay, let's jump into another game, see how things go. Heliod is neat. He's a bit of a jerk, but he's pretty neat. Right. Again, folks, if you are a fan of all things trading cards, please follow the link in the description below. Check out ZephyrEpic.com. We have wonderful things going on there. We have an incredible team, and we're always trying to do the best we can for each of you. So if you're a Canadian resident, please check out our website. And yeah, you can find incredible deals on cards, box breaks, accessories, and beyond. We have lots of exciting things coming very soon, including Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. Pre-orders, so that'll be exciting, as well as we're going to be opening up a whole huge restock of Ultra Pro products soon too, and it won't be too long that we're going to be putting the new master sets up for pre-order as well. Pretty exciting. So keep your eyes peeled, because I know that those Sliver decks and those Eldrazi decks are going to go quick. Okay, they're doing nothing. We're to consider. And do I want another Adakar waste? I really don't. Essence Scatter's good for us. Okay, so I don't really want to be doing damage to myself yet, but if I do this, then I'm not going to be doing any damage to myself. With the Fateful Absence, we have ways of dealing with everything. You worry for new players. Magic's more powerful than ever. I do understand where you're coming from, but one thing that I've noticed is everyone who works in the retail store kind of slowly got into building a commander deck and playing with each other and getting to know everything. And yes, their deck power levels might not be at their full capacity just yet, but they're learning the game really quickly and they're really enjoying it. So I think Magic's not as unhealthy a state as some people kind of lead it to be. And it's not that difficult to get involved with it these days either, because there's reliably powerful decks that come out as precons. However, I understand too that the mana bases are always just terrible, and that's really annoying. But if you can kind of break that barrier and invest a little bit of money into building a mana base and just kind of getting some staple cards, I feel like it's surprising how approachable a game it really is these days. And I quite like that. Like, it seems like it's working. So that's my opinion on the matter. So I'm trying to stay positive though too, but I'm an optimistic guy, so. Okay, so we didn't get our land drop, but that's okay. We're just gonna continue to hold up counter magic. What do you got? Nothing. Okay, that's what I thought. You got nothing. And so did we. But we can do this on our own turn because we're trying to hit our land drops, right? There it is. Essence Scatter and Negate in hand. What are they slamming down here? Yeah. Seems like they don't have anything else going on. Let's get rid of this. I don't even know what this does. Ah, they're make disappear in our thing. Okay. I don't like that. And this is a good blocker for us. Essentially bullied. I don't know why they'd get bullied for that. That precon was like good, not great. What's going on in the art? Stormclaw Rager. Okay. Well, there's our land, and there's our Sunfall. This is why we put it in the deck. Remember? Okay, so let's Sunfall. Goodbye. Maybe Sunfall ends up being the card we want the most. Okay, nothing from our opponent. This gives us the chance to Monastery Mentor. And we can hold this up to pay 2 into it. And activate it and keep this up. Let's do that. So we keep up 2 mana. We can still play our Fateful Absence and we can negate. There's a Fading Hope. Let's negate that. Yeah. We get our triggers on our Monastery Mentor anyway, and they might have another counterspell. Another Fading Hope. Okay, well, at least we do get our trigger. But they just 2 for 1, so I'm not going to complain. Squeeze, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm taking that damage, right? I don't see there's any point in blocking that goblin. They're down to 1 singular card in hand. And we're in a pretty good spot if we just slam another Monastery Mentor. They already know about this one. So what we can do is we can Monastery Mentor. And we do have the counter magic up. We can Fateful Absence their pal. Or we can incubate this. Transform it, I should say. I think we probably... Yeah, let's kill this now. We don't want it to attack again. They have enough stuff in their bin to be able to bring it back, though. They do. Okay, they're Fading Hope again, but they're officially out of cards in hand. Alright. They get a clue. I'm going to attack. They're going to exile a bunch of cards from their graveyard. That's fine. We're going to kill it again. That's our goal. That Glissa is nutty in sealed. It's very, very strong. I think that card's surprisingly good. And like, if you're playing a slow enough like commander table, it's you can do some stuff with it for sure. Okay, so they have the Squee. It's only a 2/2. If I want to, I can play Monastery Mentor again, or I can play this Evasion and get 3 friends out. I like getting 3 friends a lot. We are very much controlling this game, but we are losing life. So that's the downside. So we're in charge, but we're losing life. Man, oh man, they just got it all, don't they? Okay, no attacks from me. No matter what, it's taking damage. They're gonna flip this. Okay. They're out of cards in hand. Farewell's looking awful good for us now. Land. We really want to land. If we get a land, we're in a great spot. Make disappear. Not great. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage is how much they can deal to us next turn. Well, let's play out our creature. Hold up our mana. We can use this as a blocker. See what they have going for them. It's another Fading Hope. I'm going to be very frustrated, but so be it. Okay, so they're sacrificing something to draw 2 cards. It might be better for us to just negate that. Yeah, that's what we want to see. Yeah, we're missing land drops, but if we get one, we're in a really good spot. Sure, yeah, I'm blocking Sui all day. And yeah, let's just let that lie. They're probably going to exile more things. Yeah, you know, I understand where you're coming from, but it's kind of relevant to this board state because I am using my mana every turn anyway. And I understand it has Convoke, but... Okay, let's play another Monastery Mentor, hold up our Make Disappear so that whatever they draw, they can't Convoke and do things with. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. I don't like that we're still continuing to take damage, but I don't think we're in the terrible spot. So let's Make Disappear no matter what here. They're going to pay... Oh, except I could casualty this. That's what we're going to do. We're going to casualty this, submit this, to make a copy of it. We still get our triggers on this. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're catching my drift. And see, and this is why, like, we had that iteration of the deck that was Is It? And the Is It deck, yes, they are Azorius. We had the Is It variant of the deck, and we were using that card, and we thought it was going to be really good, but then we forgot that the monk, what's it called? The red-blue monk. It makes artifact creatures, so it's not really that valuable for us because you have colorless mana. You don't really want that, right? Okay, well, let's go into our next game. We did get our W there, and we just controlled the board the entire time. We can take a look at the deck again just to see. The one thing that ended up being very good for us was a copy of Sunfall. Is it possible we want to run a second copy of Sunfall? Iconoclast, yeah. Like, maybe instead of Depopulate, we run another copy of Sunfall. Nope. Like, I don't... Like, or... We kind of had all the answers there. We could. This card seems very powerful. Let's craft it. Let's give it a whirl. It ended up being really good at the right time. It was opportune for us, and we did slow down our opponent's draws. Killed a bunch of their creatures. In fact, exiled them, I guess. Okay, we can play this out. I'm liking seeing Farewell in our opening hand more frequently. It is tough to get to 6 mana, though. Yeah, well, we're not spell piercing that. Oh, I thought we were going to get lucky there and they were going to misclick, but not every time. Well, we'll make disappear whatever they try to do. Let's see if they're clever on their sequencing. Yeah. What do you got there, pal? Okay. There's a couple chicks attacking me. I get it. I don't think we play Mentor. Yeah, I like spell piercing that a lot. Slow down their draws. We need to pick up our draws a little bit, but... And I still don't think I'm playing Mentor here. We're taking little chips of damage, but... Okay, well, we'll make disappear that. Okay, well, let's get a couple friends out here. Here's a Swifty. And a Swifty, okay. They have something to trigger it. They do, okay. And we'll double block one of them, sure. Right, yeah. Mishra's Foundry. Okay, so now we can safely play this while holding up our Essence Scatter in case they have another creature. We're gonna go to combat here. We're gonna swing this at here. Hopefully we can get to the point where we can flip this. They are running out of cards in hand. Yeah, they're getting upset for sure, but they are an aggro deck, right? There's so many variants of the mono red deck right now. It's hard to keep up with. You're not going to my face with that, hey? Seems a little bit surprising. I guess they don't want to have to deal with it. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I think we're in a state where I guess we could take 4. Yeah, let's take 4. My turn, draw a card. Okay, well, that does help us a lot. Do this. Get rid of the Swift Spear.
Must contend with me.
Attack
this is what
this.
you get for hurting my people.
I don't like how quickly we get down to low life with this deck, though. That's like the one thing that really scares me about it is Squee. Okay, so we're dead, right? I mean, they're getting in for 5. Are you not attacking with Squee? Yeah. Okay. Down to 2. Any kind of burn spell gets us. Okay, yeah. It looks like we're probably toast on this one. We're not able to establish ourselves well enough for upkeep our life totals. Yeah, we can do this. And it doesn't make a difference. So let's take a look. If I'm not mistaken, we have the accurate amount of lands, but maybe it's worth taking a look at, because, I mean, sometimes you make that mistake, right? You take a card out, you're thinking, whatever, I'll just play it with this many. 4 copies of Slimefoot and Sweet, okay. And yeah, we're running 24 lands, okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Hmm. I do really want to try playing with this card. I wish there was more. One mana draw spells in standard right now. Where's Opt when you need it? I don't want to be paying 3 mana to anything. I do really want to be paying 1 mana to draw the cards. I mean, this draws this card. I don't think it's good enough, though. Let's try Faithful Mending. I think you're going to need to be more specific. Is it 2 mana? I think it is 2 mana, right? Not Curate, right? Is it this one? Change the equation? No. I think I know what card you're talking about. I was playing with it a little bit in another deck. Impulse, right? Is that the one you're talking about? No, Impulse has been around forever. No, no. I mean, Ledger Shredder's still around. Yeah, I don't know which card you're speaking about. Oh, this one. Moment of Truth? It's got to be this, right? Yeah, this one's probably actually pretty good. It might be better than Faithful Mending. No? Okay, well then I don't know which card you're talking about. You're gonna have to help me out here, my friend. Modern Age is pretty cool. Like Impulse is probably pretty good. Um, Experimental Augury, is that the one you're talking about? Like it proliferates. Yeah, I mean the proliferation does matter. The top 3, put one of them in your hand. Is that better than Moment of Truth? Yeah, it is. Sure, I'm open to suggestions, right? Like, let's try it out. So if we're doing that, do we take out a copy of this and a copy of this? Maybe take out this by invitation only. And then increase the copy of this. Yeah, like Anticipate is obviously like really good too. And I don't. Yeah. Yeah, let's try it. Sure. Okie dokie. Let's you know what? I'm gonna pause for a few seconds here and then I will be right back. Hold tight, okay, folks? All right. Okay, let's try this new iteration. We're gonna see if it works, and we'll just see how it operates. And I think this will be our last game. I do hope to get some sunshine before the end of the day. Yeah, don't need to apologize. It's good. It's good to get some criticisms and get some assistance with this kind of stuff. I love it, right? Like, we're all in this together. You guys are watching it. I want to be able to provide you guys with content you want to see. We got two of them off of bat, as well as a negate. I think we could probably play this since we're going to be able to draw spells now. So our opponent mulligans to 6. Okay, that's pretty fantastic draw for us. We have the Spell Pierce in hand now. Doesn't really matter if we get this out right away. So let's get this out right away. And then we can hold this up, and we can hold up our negate. Let's pass the turn. We don't have anything to deal with their creatures coming out, which is probably what they're going to be doing. Ah, nice. Okay, this is the perfect target for a negate. So let's do that. Now, if we don't draw a land, yeah. So we're going to be playing this Aganjo. It's just good to have in the deck, right? Turn 4. Now, they are almost certainly going to be playing Shieldred on their turn. I'm just going to assume that. They might try to play another Fable the Mirror Breaker. Okay, so this is one of those lifeline questions, right? Do I play a Monastery Mentor and just pass the turn, see what they do? Or do I wait, possibly Experimental Augury or Spell Pierce something? Don't know if it's going to be that good, though, to do that. I think I'm probably better off just playing this, because they're still trying to establish a board. I'm going to try this out. Remind me after the stream to change my lands. I want them to be Eldraine lands, or something similar. So they're just going to slam dunk a Shieldred right now, or they're going to remove my Mentor. There's the go for the throat. Seachrome Coast. Ooh, one turn too late. That hurts. Okay, so now we're going back to the plan that we decided against. But, hey. That's okay. Here comes Shield Dread. I'm a little bit surprised that they kept that card in standard. I guess we'll see. I was surprised about this card staying in standard too. This card's just cruel. It's so hard to deal with. Choose one. You can kill it. I think I want... No, I know, it has to attack though, but then it's got war, discard a card, right? Let's take a consider, I guess. Yeah, let's dig. Yeah, we have another Augury, I know, but... Interesting. This makes for a good double block against this. And it means that we're not casting nothing during our turn and therefore transforming this thing. But what we can do... is not cast anything, let it transform, kind of bait them into attacking, and then slam the Wandering Emperor, discard our consider. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's let them transform their pal. Are they not going to attack? That would be super strange, right?
I hope you're ready to lose.
Okay. What do you got there?
My judgment is final.
That was a pretty good play for us. We do really want to see some land come our way. Back on Numa, okay. Mill 3 and then return a creature planeswalker card. Okay, so they're getting back their Chandra. Now, how much mana do they have? They have 6 exactly. So that means this Spell Pierce is going to be really good for us. And also means that we're not doing anything during our turn. We'll take this up just for the sake of it. Submit 0. And then, yeah, they have 6 exactly. So let's let them, let's bait them. I guess they have a land and they can pay the additional 2. But maybe they do it before they play a land. Very powerful card. Starting to see lots of play in different areas of standard, primarily. Oh, they will. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. No, in my head, they already had 7 mana. So, yes, that's right. All right. They're taking damage for it. Perfect. Mwah. This is what we wanted. This is that point where they go blue players doing stupid blue player things. Okay, let's Augury. We want our lands, right? So let's get our land. Oh, and we get to proliferate. Nice. Good shout putting that card in the deck. That's a good one for us. Okay, now we want to do this for a bajillion, right? For 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we don't need to hold anything up anymore. Establish quite the board, I must say. Put a counter on one of these things.
Show them how we greet our
Yeah,
enemies.
it's gonna be relevant because like our win cons are planeswalkers effectively, right? Like this and planeswalkers. Now this has counters on it. I guess technically you could proliferate this thing. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but let's hold that thought actually. Can you proliferate your opponent's battles? It's on your side of the battlefield, right? Okay, sacrifice creature, sure. Such a silly card. I want that card gone, gone, gone. I'm so happy it's finally happening. Yeah, exactly. Anything with counters on it, right? So I think you could probably do that and just you can use it to proliferate your opponent's battles and keep them from flipping their battles. That's pretty mean and pretty cool. And I think a lot of people are overlooking it right now too. But you know what? It makes sense because they added so much proliferate stuff to standard, and I remember being like thinking like, why do we need all this? There isn't even that many counter synergies going on. Like Tekuthal, who proliferates twice every time you would proliferate. It's like, okay, this card's cool, but like, where is it gonna be good? Besides in Commander, right? Okay, let's. Yeah, I mean, we swing it out. Come on and jam, right? Do you care about my Teferi? Okay, I guess you do. Ooh. Shoot, I should have totally activated my Mistress Foundry. So be it. Nighttime again. Let us see what they do. Who knows? Okay. It can be pretty good. Honestly, it's not the best Teferi, but the fact that you can give your knights a bunch of stuff is pretty good. So we want to gamble that they probably have some removal spell in their hand. Let's do this. We have the 2 cards we can discard already. We're swinging 6 at our battle. Words I never expected to say in Magic. Well, we're about due for another busted Teferi. Come on, he's the best. I love Teferi. I'm excited to see a card that's not a planeswalker of him. That's gonna be sweet. Jace was never good. I don't know. He's good. There's like one good Jace. I feel like, yes, he terrorized certain metas at their time, but like, you look back and you're like, dude, these are not that good. Like, how often do you see someone playing like anything besides Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, or Mind Sculptor? Like, yeah, they're good, but like, I don't know. I came into Magic at like Oko though, so who knows?
We will win the day.
We will win the day.
I like to think I'm good at thinking.
Okay, there. Space Dad. Relax. And I will not play a land because I want to be able to discard it to, yeah. Picking up a Make Disappear, even at this point in the game, is going to be pretty sweet. And since we have 7 lands now, we could activate Mishra's Foundry and then sack it to Make Disappear to make them double pay. Braid. Mamma mia. Make them pay 4 mana for it? Are they gonna do it? Probably. They're sitting here wondering what I'm doing, hey? Like, why would you activate this Mishra's Foundry in response? What does it mean? Oh, you must have Make Disappear? Who knows? Maybe they're clever. Cleverer than I am. They're roping. Yeah, Factory's not bad at all. It's not as, or Foundry, I should say. Factory would be better. But yeah, the Foundry is pretty good. Okay, so they decided to pay the full 4. And now what? Go for the throat? Okay, they burned out their entire hand. Now we're in the spot to start going nuts. So let's do this. Draw 2 cards.
Our best plans are improvised.
Yeah, we're gonna end up pitching one of these, I think. Right? Maybe it is Farewell, though. Farewell has not been very good to us. And I can get both of them out and play Consider. No. Yeah, let's do this. Fair pal. No, I don't want that. And we get it anyway. Okay, hold that in hand. Go to combat, end the turn. Tap X untap creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's library. All right, we were able to grind them out, everybody. So, shout out to Vagrant Dart there because that little proliferate card ended up being quite good for us. So I think we actually have like the right amount of them in the deck already. I think we were playing 3, right? Or was it 2? Yeah, so we're running 3 copies of it. I think that's a good amount. I do wonder a little bit if we should be playing more Planeswalkers, but like maybe 2 copies of Farewell is too much. Yeah, they are powerful for sure. Again, I wonder if 2 copies of Farewell is too much since it's such a steep card. And then what we can do is we can put in White Sun's Twilight. 1 copy of that. The reason I like White Sun's Twilight is it does just like gain X life, right? Which is pretty handy, and it makes X tokens. Let's look. I just want to look at Planeswalkers one more time. Yeah, one copy of White Sun's Twilight. I think that's also good. I'm just curious if we wanted to consider putting in a card like this, but this is so important in like a creature-centric deck. We're just not there. Or Eternal Wanderer. We could run a single copy of Eternal Wanderer at our top end instead of running this White Sun's Twilight. I kind of like that. Let's throw one of these in there. This thing's going to be insane for us. It's just a powerful card. It's really hard to kill. Yeah, one copy of Farewell is good. We could run stuff like Jace here. Like, Jace is pretty powerful. Huh. Yeah, I don't think Jace isn't good enough. It mills your opponents. I don't think we want to be doing that. But I do like Eternal Wanderer is very good. No more than one creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. Exile up to one target artifact or creature and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the player's next end step. So it does exile something, kind of staggers it. And you're able to kind of like remove their biggest threat and force them to not have it on the board for a turn. And then it is a board wipe in itself. And it creates 2/2 double strikers, which is pretty sweet, right? So I think that's probably a good one for us. Yeah. Look at this, eh? So now we got the 5 planeswalkers. Ways of proliferating it. Counterspells galore. This thing is just awesome. All right, we're putting it together. And Monastery Mentor still has a spot. Right on. No, we don't really have any blink targets that are creatures, but it comes back at the next end step too, so it is pretty good for oh hey, there you go, Vagrant Dart. But it is pretty good for getting rid of your opponent's really scary things too, and a lot of them won't have ETBs. So I'm behind that decision. I think it's a good one. Anyway, everybody, I think that's going to be a wrap for today's stream. That was really, really, really fun. Wait, what do you mean? What did you miss? We ended up getting the win because the opponent forfeited. They didn't want to. They had no cards in hand. They weren't drawing anything. We had a Teferi out. We had creatures. They couldn't really do anything, and we kept countering their stuff. And then we were able to play a Monastery Mentor and start doing stuff off of that. And we had his backup Monastery Mentor in hand, as well as continued to hold on to other stuff to draw spells. So yeah. Oh yeah. We opened a pack, and then we got Teysa Karlov. So it made me think of you. Anyway, everybody, okay, I am going to hop off the stream for the week. I will see all of you lovely human beings next week. Don't forget to follow the link in the description below. Check out ZephyrEpic.com for incredible deals on cards, box breaks, accessories, and beyond. We have lots of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline really soon, as well as a huge Ultra Pro restock and pre-orders for the Lord of the Rings set that's coming out very soon. So again, follow our Instagram. Make sure you sign up for our email newsletter, because that's how you're going to get notified right away as soon as it goes live on our website. And you know we're going to have a good deal on it, and people are going to be excited about it, and it's going to go quickly. That Lord of the Rings collector box, I think, is going to be the hottest seller of the year. We're going to get a lot of people that are going to be buying it that aren't even Magic players, just so they get that chance at that golden ticket. Everyone wants to get that one-of-one card. But that remains to be seen. It's going to be tough to get. Anyway. Much love to the whole of you out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you live in a place that's getting sunshine, please go enjoy that sunshine and have